art is supposed to make you feel things, I do have 3 rules for art. The first one is, does it spin? This is to have high art. If you want high art, you really need at least 2 of these 3. And the first one is, does it spin? And in my experience, more art spins out there by design than you would think. I am surprised frequently how many things spin, and like even on the big platform area. So does it spin? Cool. Is it on fire? Naturally, that helps. And can you climb in it?
Can you climb it?
And when you get all 3 of those together, you have the trifecta: flaming, spinning, climbing art. And that's, I got to go back.
That's rare.
Yeah. I have to go change my pants after interacting with that art.
I really wanted the flaming masts on the shipwreck to have the rigging be climbable.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would have hit 2 out of 3, but they couldn't. But I do have it on good authority that there will be a shipwreck with climbable rigging this year.
That'll
Different
be good.
folks, though.
Different folks.
Different folks.
All right.
Different rigging.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah, look for Naga and the captain.
Naga and
I've
the
already
captain.
forgotten that.
It's sea serpent and a shipwreck.
All right.
Climbable rigging. It's going to be great.
With the serpent.
Well, I'll
Some
see it if
tendrils.
I bump into it.
Hopefully not too hard.
It's amazing how I will see so much more a comprehensive view of the art in Deep Playa than the art that is in Inner Playa and supposedly easier to find. I never see that shit. People are just like, oh, that was right on the inside of Esplanade in like 3 o'clock. How'd you miss that?
It gets
like, I don't
lost
fucking know.
in the background.
Yep.
And especially 22 coming back from nothing, and there's this stockpile of art. That year it was hard to find anything because it was just so dense
Yeah.
everywhere. Nothing really got its own, like, here you are, alone in the desert piece, which was cool. But
Yeah, there was a lot
There
of
was a
shit
lot.
in
It was
Inner
amazing.
Playa.
This year might be similar. We're looking like we're going to have a record year of placed pieces.
Oh, fun. That's cool.
Well, I look forward to the unplaced pieces. Those seem to be the best.
What? Trash pile or art? Have you given up on your project and have you abandoned it?
That is the purest form of art, is like 70% of somebody's idea left in a huff.
Couldn't handle it. I like being out there early and seeing the things slowly get built, especially some of the intricate things, and playing the guessing game of what is this?
Oh, yeah.
What's it going to be? And either vastly off or dead on the money. There was one year, don't remember at all, but there was this big, tall, narrow structure going up, and it had like another tower next to it that connected. And I thought to myself, man, if that was a massive pachinko machine, that'd be great.
And it was?
And a couple days later, there's a bunch of balls in it. And I'm like, whoa, if those things were on fire, that'd be ideal. And a couple nights later, flaming, massive pachinko machine. It was everything I could have hoped for.
Sometimes the Playa grants your wishes.
Oh, it knows what I need. It thanks me for all the hard work I do for it.
Welcome to Accuracy Third. I'm D-Day.
I'm Rex.
And I'm Beth.
And today on Accuracy Third, we have a true original. Coming to us, a polydepartmental gentleman who hails from mostly ESD, a little bit of gate thrown in. Everybody's got a little bit of gate thrown in.
The fun ones, anyway.
So, Beth, as someone who has recently listened to this episode, you and I both know that we just heard in the cold open Nuttbutt's art rules.
Oh, is that a thing we did?
Yes. Nuttbutt has some pretty incredible rules about art that he thinks makes a successful piece of art.
Ooh.
Do you have requirements or guidelines that you think make a holistic, interesting piece of playa art?
Yes, but they're very nuanced, and, you know, you might want to take a whole class to study them. But I can tell you the 3 rules that make fire dancing better.
I'm all ears.
So either more fire, less clothing, or better dancing. All
notes.
fire performances can be improved by these things.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Hard agree.
I couldn't even start with art because what makes art good out there is kind of ineffable to me. It's interesting. It's a conversation I'm interested in having, but I don't have clear ideas.
I think for art at Burning Man, with all art, you're trying to elicit an emotional response of some kind. But I think when you're making art at Burning Man, you kind of want to shoot for a vocalized emotional response. I think like very best is a gasp of surprise. Second is a solid belly shaking laugh. And somewhere down there, there's tears. Tears, I think, are probably easy.
You know what sound makes a really good piece of art?
Art that injures.
Pain swings.
Like injurious art is something I really like, and it's rare to see outside of Burning Man contexts. Certainly not public art.
Because of liability.
Because of liabilities. Yeah, I definitely, danger is great until it's not.
Well, content warning before we start this episode. Be prepared to enjoy some really funny and worthwhile advice about peeing in vessels in your tent and elsewhere. So, if you don't want to hear me, Rex, and Nuttbutt discussing our peeing situations past, future, and present, then maybe skip this episode. But if you do, why don't you roll up a fat one, light yourself a candle, get in the bath, slit those wrists, and be prepared to listen to us talking about Playa Pee.
Look, if you're at this point in your listen through to us and you didn't just start this season, if you've listened to any of our back catalog and you're not prepared for long and detailed piss talk, I don't know what to tell you. You clearly have been like doing your laundry during the bulk of the episode and lost track of paying attention. Don't do that. We're important.
D-Day,
Listen to every word.
I'm going to say that this is you not trusting our audience.
I'm just saying that if this is your first episode listening to Accuracy Third, because it's almost time to go to Playa for Burning Man in 2025, then thank you for listening. This is now your responsibility to get in touch with us in our email address, accuracythird@gmail.com, all spelled out, and let us know what your Burning Man was like. And now, Nuttbutt.
Nuttbutt.
Oh, that's not great. It's not terrible.
Drop, is that like a shandy or something?
It's a canned cocktail. It tastes like a melted Italian ice with some vodka in it.
Okay.
It's not terrible.
Okay. This is lovely cider, by the way. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I have been searching for this one alcoholic cider that I had like maybe 20 years ago now, and have never found since. It's a British dry cider called Original Sin. And it's like the driest apples that have ever been alcoholized. It's incredible.
Did you shake it? It says to shake it.
I think I did.
Got particle bits. Gotta get the pulp up in there.
Oh, that is way too sweet. Oh my God.
All the sugar at the
Oh
bottom.
my God. Wow.
Secret sugar.
But it tastes like a melted Italian ice, right?
I forgot why lemon drops are a shooter. Like,
Oh, they are a shooter, aren't they?
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised to see an entire can of one.
yeah, they're a tequila shot with sugar and lemon. Or
Well,
like a tequila
You
shot,
should be
but
glad
not
that I didn't get the blackberry one. God damn it, I left the studio to go get joints. And here I am, having never gone to get joints.
So we've still got that half a joint that...
That's been waiting.
Oh, good. Old dry joint.
No, like from a few minutes ago.
Oh.
The one that you lit up right before they arrived.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I
Well,
walked
I've
away
been
with it
distracted
sitting
for
right
like 15 minutes now. It's David. Howdy. What's your playa name?
Currently, with the gate, perimeter and exodus, my radio handle is Nuttbutt.
God damn it, you are also Gate, and Nuttbutt is an incredible name.
Thank you. It's good syllables, great over radio. Many connotations of where the name could come from.
Nuttbutt, all one word.
That is correct.
Where'd you come to us from?
I live hour outside of Sacramento right now, a little town called Plymouth, Amador wine country, surrounded by vineyards. It's pretty lovely. I'm staying on a friend's aunt's property, helping her take care of it. But yeah, today I came out of El Sobrante since I was out in the Bay doing some medical dispatching work, which is a talent I learned at Burning Man.
Wow.
And now I've taken that back to the real world. Yeah.
Like that was a skill you picked up working dispatch for Gate?
That was for ESD, Emergency Services Department.
So actual medical dispatch.
Actual medical dispatch. Yeah, real business, people's lives. And I started doing that. My first year was 2011. Came out for that. And the next year they did the ticket lottery and didn't get a ticket. I had made some friends in the medical department that lived near me.
Why? What happened?
No one got a ticket. They weren't going to give me low income again. So I got it. And I was actually trying to help on the IT side of communications. But the gentleman who oversaw that as volunteer coordinator was much too busy in his real life. But his wife was a volunteer coordinator for the dispatch side of things. And it's like, well, I learned things quick. Never done that before. Go in, get trained up, start medical dispatching. Apparently, I got a knack for it. A couple of years later, they had me as a lead and they had me as training. And the past several years, I've been a supervisor out at the shack, running the little like 911 style dispatch center for Burning Man, Black Rock City.
Well, shit. Thank you.
Sir, my pleasure. It has been a ride and a hoot. This last year, 23, was my 10th year anniversary, so I got my 10-year patch.
Oh,
for that.
nice. That feels so good when
That
you
was
get that
amazing.
patch.
I'm hoping to get mine by year 15 this year, but we'll see.
Is this your 15?
This is my 15.
Did you put in for both patches?
Yes. Well, I mean, I said the same thing that I said every year, which is I still haven't gotten my 10th. And this year I should get my 15th.
I mean, that math adds up to me. But
Thank you. And it is my 19th year total this year. So next year,
So next year, Joe owes you a patch?
who's Joe?
Beth's boyfriend, who made me a patch on my 20th year.
Oh, he did that. That's nice. I don't think I'm going to give anyone a piece of swag for my 20th year. I am self-aggrandizing enough that I don't need people to have merch for how long I've wasted my life at this party.
there's plenty of other swag that accumulates throughout.
Yeah, speaking of, you should get swag. You're in the
jar.
studio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is where we hide the patches.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you so
you can have a
much.
patch too. Hidden person on the couch.
I love it. Thank you kindly.
You are very welcome.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so this year going into it, I've actually stepped down from ESD. I've done that. I joined Gate for Strike in 2019, and then I got invited back for the full build coming back from the pandemic in 22. So now I get to spend 2 months out there
Oh, wow.
surveying, doing everything from nothing. And now we also run a theme camp, a Playa Home Companion. And in the last couple of years, the folks of that have picked up a lot. I'm not doing everything by myself, so I'm devoting a lot more energy into that little magic piece of fun.
It's a hell of a theme camp. Thank you for hosting our party.
That's right. You were there, and
Yeah,
I
we were.
was off doing other things while you were there.
As people should.
Yes. I was getting my 10-year patch for ESD and then left that early to go be a red shirt for the DPW parade and be their little safeties, making sure people aren't running between the vehicles, getting hurt, getting crushed to death, that kind of thing.
So does that mean you were in no less than 3 departments last year?
Not DPW. Because
I mean, you redshirted for their parade.
Fair, that's fair. I'll take that.
degree of volunteer.
You're
an
right.
adjunct.
You're right. I will take that. I'm polydepartmental.
You sure are.
I'll take it. Yeah, 3 departments and a theme camp for 1 year. I'll take that.
That's a fuck.
I'll put those
Jesus
feathers
Christ,
in my
man.
hand. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Okay, so I feel like I want to ask you questions about each of these directly.
Sure.
So you're now doing dispatching professionally.
Yes, I work for a small company that actually, the gentleman who owns it was the head of ESD for many, many years.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Is that your primary work outside of...
That is just one little trickle in a bucket. I do a lot of event productions. I've been doing like audio and lighting since I was 12. Live events. I had done theater as well. I've built community theater companies in Sacramento, a couple circuses. I do other events now. I oversee departments. I do power. I coordinate volunteer departments, media, all over the place. And I do a lot of handyman work just to kind of fill in the gaps in between. Sacramento is just basically East Bay. So it's now.
Northeast Bay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, not all hoity-toity like those assholes over there in Marin. So have you lived in this part of California your whole life? That's how you know about Burning Man, or did you discover it a more interesting way?
I came up to Sacramento like 2006. I grew up in a small town in the high desert in southernish California called Tehachapi. And it's like the same level, part of the Mojave Desert. Going back to Black Rock is always easy to acclimate. But I had heard about Burning Man I knew about it a few years before the first time I went. And I had a couple really close friends. We were a power trio, did everything together and theater and production stuff. They got invited to go out in 2010. And when they came back, they're like, well, you got to go. And so I went out with them in 2011, and we were part of Barbie Death Village.
Oh,
yeah.
Good place to land.
right?
Yeah, good community. Yeah. My trepidations about not going alone, it's like, well, I could have survived, I know. But like when you have that community around you, have that support, it makes it that much more enjoyable of an experience without having all that fear over you. Yeah, and in my second year out there in 2012, 3 of us decided to build our own art car and bring that out. And
You followed the classic arc.
right in.
Love it.
My understanding is it usually takes a few years to bring an art car out to Playa. We slapped this thing together in 3 months. And it was road legal, drove itself. Then we unpacked everything and fit 40 people. And it was a sky bison. Gunther the Sky Bison. 6 legs, white and fluffy.
Sounds familiar.
Like from Avatar The Last Airbender, Sky Bison. Yeah. So we had ours, and Gunther was out there like 2013 to 2015, 16 maybe. But there's basically just the 3 of us running the camp at that point, and everyone else was kind of bebopping along for the party. And the other friends, trickled off in other directions in life, and then it was just me managing an art car and no one else doing the work.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And so what I actually did is I kicked everyone out of the camp, came up with a bunch of rules, and then invited them back. And so that's where the modern version of a Playa Home Companion comes from, is like I at least wanted to be surrounded with people who were at least volunteering an amount. And so like first rule is just do something outside of camp, give back to the community was the idea with that. And it was amazing. We just set some simple rules and everyone's like, okay, we can actually do that.
God, that's so smart.
Yeah. And I'll even be open and honest, like working the emergency services work. When I need to sleep, I need to sleep. So it was like me controlling my environment. And like, okay, I can deal with you. You can be around me in these, times and I can deal with you. But it's like, all right, just picking the environment so that I can have as much rest as possible. But that was fun. And so I have like an old 1940s radio furniture piece. And so at night, I would just lock that down, playing old radio shows from the 20s and 30s and 40s, and just have this very chill vibe. We used to hang like kerosene lanterns around and have the couches. And so just very chill evening. And then you wake up and it's nice and you get back to partying during the day, go to work, whatever.
Sounds pretty great.
Yeah.
Seems like you know what you're doing.
I think at this point I figured it out.
Yeah, you've really thought this through.
Yeah.
That's such a solid plan.
Well, of course, now we're just adding more things onto it. One of the new things, the layer we've added on is Mom's Hostile Hostel. And so the idea for this is, being more involved with the staff camps and like how tightly packed those are. And it's constant party time. Some people like that. Some people can thrive in that. Me, I'm really happy that I have my own theme camp that I can leave to once the city's up and running and have it a little differently. So we're building a set of little rooms. We have one cooling unit right now, the swamp cooler. So like the staff needs a little break from that party zone, or also people running other big art projects or other theme camps. They need like a little break from their chaos. Come on down to Mom's. You check out a room for the evening or for the night. We got a bunch of caretakers. Read your story. Maybe we got some soup going on. But, get a little vacation from your work vacation.
Oh my God, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Did you guys get your placement this year?
We did. They plopped us right across the street from the DPW ghetto bar.
Oh, fabulous.
Oh, wow. That means that we are close neighbors.
Wow.
So maybe we should have our our party there again.
Handy dandy.
And halfway through it, we'll just drift into the DPW ghetto.
When drinks run low, there's just a supply right across the street.
We've never had drinks run low, but maybe they'll have the mixers for us that we'll forget to get.
Yeah, we've never had drinks run low because we're just handing out.
Yeah, we only bring like 6 to 8 bottles of liquor.
Tends to go a lot slower without mixers.
Yeah, it really does.
Wow.
And a bag of ice.
You can have it hot or on the rocks. Your choice.
Fine.
The ice is a gift.
Yeah, last year we were placed right at the intersection of 6 and E. And so when building the city, once we moved on Playa, I'm in the black hole in the logistics pod. And when I moved my trailer, it was less than 100 yards line of sight. But I had to like wiggle all the way out of the black hole and go out on the street and back around. And some of those roads were tore up at that point after the rain. It was fun this last year, just bouncing a trailer at 2 miles an hour.
E
not
was
wanting to pack
something
everything
else.
down.
Yeah, especially that block of E.
It was gnarly. But yeah, placement last year was great because it's still one of the thoroughfares for all staff coming in and out and can watch at the parade. And we also got a bus stop plopped there. So constant confused people dumping into our frontage.
It is very funny to see the legitimate bus drop people because they were doing that during our party. People were getting off and like we'd all cheer and run out and give them a hug and they'd be like, where is this and where do I go? It's like, fuck if I know.
I'm here for something else. Oh, it's fabulous.
And it's just like they're showing up with like one old-timey suitcase from the 50s with like little casters on the bottom that if you try to drag it by the casters, it'll just fall over because it's 4 feet high by 4 feet wide and half a foot thick. It's amazing how people show up with practically nothing in the most difficult means to carry it from wherever they were dropped off to wherever they live.
It's just bouncing along in the dust.
Not nearly as funny as when they show up at the airport.
I've never seen people show up at the... Well, like,
That's because you've never gone out to the airport.
No, I did. I painted there once. Yeah, they're awful. What a bunch of pricks.
I mean, didn't they bring someone else to carry their bags with them?
Yes. Yes, they did.
No. I only made it to the airport my first time this last year, dealing with ticket transfer stuff for someone else. And I was like, I've never actually been out to the airport. I know it exists. Talk to them, doing ESD work from time to time. Never made it out there. It's cute.
It is. It's pretty cool in like a little airport that you would see in Africa in an Indiana Jones movie kind of way. But then the rich people show up and they're just like, what is this? This is so gross.
Is there a golf
there's
cart?
Buddy
Where's
on
my
the
golf
art
cart?
car for us. This beer is warm. It's just like I have to go. I can't be here with these people.
No, I wouldn't. That's why I haven't been out there, apparently. Not where I want to hang out.
It doesn't feel very Burning Man. It is for like the crazy burners who bring their own planes and like take people up. That's magical if that's a thing you want to do. But the people flying in from Reno or other parts, like, whew. It's not very Burning Man-y.
Not the vibe.
It is kind of a thing I want to do. I wouldn't mind going up in an airplane.
I've heard there's like one pilot that he does dedicated like mile high flights.
Yes.
Like you go out with your, give him a nice bottle of something. Go out with
he'll
your
take
sweetheart.
you up there. You can get your dick sucked.
Oh yeah.
You got like 20 minutes.
Do some
and then it
barrel
brings you back
rolls.
down.
Some 0G cum socks. It's hard to clean those up if you're not tracking them.
Yeah, but you don't care if you're real high on GHB.
That's great.
It's so funny to think of him taking people up and then doing vomit comet dives.
You thought you were climaxing. Whoa, hold on. Oh, it's wild. What else happens at Burning Man? There's a lot.
What happened to you your first year that made you feel like this was a cult you wanted to join?
My first year, my friends were playing cornhole back at camp, and I can't stand cornhole. And they're like, ugh. They're just doing it. That's what they want to do in the middle of the day. And so one friend gave me a little bag of powder motivation, and I'm like, all right, let's go. And I was wearing just like a little tight leather mini skirt. I don't even know if I had a shirt, and I had a plastic didgeridoo with a strap slung around. I was barefoot even, and I was gone like all day. I rode trains. I got lost in dust storms. I made friends. I did lamplighters in the evening. But what really connected to me, it gave me a connection to my father who passed away in 2006. And he was an aerospace engineer, aircraft mechanic. And when he passed, the little private airfield he was working in, my uncle and I went to collect his tools. And while we were going through the tools, there were clearly hand machined tools in there. Talking to his coworkers, he'd like, well, he would see a problem. He'd have to order a tool. It would take months to get here. It'd be like a $5,000 tool. So then he'd just go in the metal shop, fabricate it, make whatever tool seemed best for him, and then fix the plane in the afternoon.
Oh, wow.
So going out to Burning Man and seeing all these same kind of things we're struggling with, shade, evap ponds, how do we want, like even just building bars and tables and seating, seeing all the different ways that people express their creativity and how they solve these problems with their own unique visions and opinions and ideas, and talking to people and getting that. So that was like my big first connection. I was like, oh, I feel connected to my dad. This is a place where I can come and learn and grow and help people troubleshoot their problems and have that connection to him. Now it's evolved into just, big old personal growth fest and like challenging myself. Running the theme camp, that's been like a way of practicing leadership skills. And, trying, teaching myself by teaching other people leadership skills and how to grow and challenge and organizational things and do the things I'm not good at in other areas of my life, but get the practice. And even now with some friends, we're looking at buying community so we can start our own commune. And I want to do events on that. Right. And so I get to do, practicing that. But the way I want to structure the community and the governance system is I've fallen in love with a thing called Sociocracy, which is more of like a network of decision making throughout the organization instead of everything trickles down from the top, and it empowers the people in the jobs to make the decisions to make their jobs easiest, the best, and quickest. It also involves a lot of consent. Instead of saying, yes, I like this, no, I don't like this, it's yes, I consent to try this for an amount of time. Lots of little nuances to help, make decisions and run, I think. And so now I practice that in my theme camp. We do a loose version of that. So I'm getting practice for how I'm going to run my community in the theme camp at Burning Man.
Sociocracy.
It's been around, I think, only since the 70s. Is it Swedish? Something like that? Norway? Somewhere around there.
Would you describe it as a consensus-based governing model?
Yes. And I actually believe Temple Guardians works on a very similar format.
They use holocracy.
Yes, they're very similar. They're very similar. I think there's the nuances come down into more like how you run meetings and kind of like the guidelines and the setup for how you do that.
We can have a non-hierarchical society, but I run the fucking meeting. I don't have to be in charge of the content, but God damn it, I will keep us on task after 2 minutes of being off task. Everyone gets to be off task for a minute, but
you gotta have.
We have 78 minutes left to this meeting.
Whip it back.
The case could be made that the past 200 years history of difference in socialism in terms of tendencies really comes down to how do you hold meetings.
Yeah, and giving people the respect and time that they deserve to express their feelings, not having the loud, always talking people, stepping on the quieter people. Things like that.
If the quieter people had worthwhile shit to say, maybe they'd fucking say it.
If and only. Those are the things that are important to me, at least, when trying to get everyone's input, because I'm a loud person. I can take over a room, but I want to make sure other people have that opportunity to get their input.
I was taught that's how you express your agency. I don't know what to do with people who weren't taught to have agency.
The one time I tried to make a theme camp of some kind of scale, there had been a theme camp for the past couple of years that was just 3 friends, but we expanded it out to a few dozen. And so I decided it needed structure. So I tried to implement the most horizontal consensus-based structure that I could cobble together. And I discovered that groups really need type A's to get anything done.
You need a course, a direction. And at least I feel like someone to set that, and then the people who are happy to support that vision.
Yeah. Like a consensus model, structures like that are meant to keep type A's from being the only ones running things. But without type A's, nothing gets done.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be my thing that we're doing, but we do have to be doing something. And I will push that forward. Because otherwise, why are we doing anything?
Just to do it wrong and forget we did it wrong and do it wrong again?
No,
because we didn't take notes.
Why? Why didn't we take notes? Where are the notes? I took notes. I gave them to the person who was supposed to organize them. Where are the notes?
They got burned, probably.
I believe they have several times, and all of my inventories.
So now you're volunteering for the full cycle of Gate. I didn't realize Gate had 2 months of full operations.
They do. We basically, the Gate logistics is kind of like the DPW of Gate. So yeah, for that period, we go out, we do all the surveying and planning of, from pavement to greeters, everything. So we survey the road.
Okay, that makes sense.
Wandering around in the desert, putting little survey flags in the ground, coming back later to pound the T stakes in, putting the floppy flag on, or where all the containers go at Gate operations, where everyone gets checked and searched. And in the black hole, all the support buildings that go in there, everyone's camping in that. We map that out for everyone so that when all the logistics come in, it can just get plopped. When people come in, it's all laid out for them. So we're kind of we're DPW. We're out there with the DPW. It was a couple hundred people that start doing that all super early.
So are you starting basically right after Golden Spike?
Yes. There's been a couple years we've started before Golden Spike. It's just to be the first real work on Playa, you know?
Pretty cool.
Let's get a little ahead of ourselves. It's fun. It's really interesting. For building the road, we just get a few GPS points, and then it's all analog from there. And, you know, we're using transits, little telescopes with crosshairs to make straight lines and flags to signal to each other as we're walking a couple miles away from each other, wandering around in the desert. It's a gorgeous place to be in. Yeah. And then just coming back and pounding a bunch of sticks in the ground. That's so many tea stakes to pound, but it is really amazing. And especially like on fence day when that's going up and you have these, you know, the big crews with, you know, a couple dozen DPW people on each, and they're just rotating through, moving down this line, pounding in tea stake after tea stake after tea stake on the outside. And then you have the crews coming up behind them to put up the string and then the fence and tying it all together. It is really incredible just to watch these simple methods and systems that have been put together to accomplish these massive feats in a fairly short time. You know, getting all the prep work in and, you know, getting the flags placed in the right place so that everyone can just say, oh, there's a flag, that's where a T-stake go. I pound it in this far, move on to the next one. And then once that point's done, because leading up to that point, a lot of us were staying in Gerlach still because we can't camp out there until the perimeter fence is up. And so it's kind of this slow poking along while some of the surveying's happening and like the streets are getting surveyed in the perimeter and we're doing our stuff. And then there's just 3 big days of pounding. We pound the fence, we pound Gate Road, and then we pound intersections one day after the next. And then things just go crazy because all this infrastructure that's been kind of piling up and waiting starts getting dropped in the perimeter fence. And there's just containers and containers and shade starts going up and everything all over the place. And then been out here for a few weeks with just a couple hundred people, and it's been nice and quiet and chill, and you kind of know everyone. Then everyone else starts showing up. You don't know what's going on. There's just more and more people. And then I have to remind myself, well, this is what I came here actually for. I didn't come out here for like the month and a half of quiet work. It's really came out here for the couple of weeks of being out here with a lot of other people who have a lot of the same intentions and energies to make this magic wild place happen. And then I get excited again.
And then you stay through the entire exodus and strike.
Yes. This year, I am the gate logistics strike lead or manager, one of those. I'm telling people what to do, cleaning up that shit show, picking up other people's stuff. I stay through defense day, at least. So when we pull it down, I've left before that and like cutting off that energy from starting when it's just baby nothing and it growing and then just leaving. It's like severing off a limb, I feel like.
You want to see it from start to finish.
Complete the arc. Yeah. With my other work and actually having to make money, there's other gigs that come up pretty close after Burning Man I have to leave for. But at least, you know, take down the trash fence. So that's nice.
So I don't think we've ever discussed Defense Day on the podcast. That's the day that the trash fence is dropped and the stakes start getting pulled out?
No, that's the day that historically we've had to repel invaders from Winnemucca.
They can deal with that themselves. Yeah. I don't think I have to go away from where I live to help out other communities. That doesn't sound right.
D-Day, defense, D-Day fence day. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, that is when the protective barriers come down. So we can no longer prevent hippies from sneaking in.
Nice.
Really. And all the infrastructure and support systems are gone.
You hippies stay out of our cleanup site.
But pick up this trash on your way out, please. Oh.
Have you ever been tempted to do the resto?
Very tempted. Again, when that time is available to me, it's going to happen. That seems like another turn of the event that is absolutely beautiful and more time in that desert. During the pandemic, when there was no official Burning Mans, I actually got to go out to the Black Rock Desert and really explore it in depths at like 2-week intervals by myself.
Oh, nice.
During the winter, during the spring, during the summer, and like just going up and getting up in all the nooks and crannies and canyons up in the mountains and exploring. And it is such a lush, beautiful desert.
Yeah.
When you get off the dry lake bed, there's so much water out there. There's so many springs. There's hot springs everywhere. There's cold springs everywhere. There's little like birch forests tucked up into these canyons.
Wow.
There's rocks of every color. Like if you just want a purple rock, if you want a red rock, if you want a green rock, they're just all there, spread all over. There's petrified forests all over the place.
Really?
There's insects that will they blow my mind at least.
Oh, they're fucking disgusting out there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Horrific.
Yeah, that portion of the high desert is one of the most like geologically interesting places. There's petrified forest all over. There's
I mean, if there's birch there, and that birch is somehow separated from the birch on the East Coast that is dying in groves at a time, that birch might be worth something pretty quick.
Yeah.
All the fucking birch trees are dying on the East Coast.
Oof. We have a lot of problems out here, or at least more up at the foothills.
No,
with the
this
live,
is
the live
California.
oaks.
We got it figured out.
Yeah.
the live oaks have
Different
been
trees. Different disease for different trees. It's almost just like ecosystems all over the place are collapsing.
That doesn't sound right.
I wonder why something like that would happen.
Weird.
The important thing is that we continue to ignore indigenous people and all their knowledge.
I have deep feels about that. That's
We're not going to stop.
good one. Like working forward with a property, I want to work with close ties with the local native populations and elders, and like get their input with the events we do, how we do those inputs. You know, my hippie woo woo. You know, we're bringing people together, use that energy as a conscious prayer, and send it back out into the earth in ways to benefit the surrounding community and greater earth. So I think leading on lost knowledge and trying to like learn what we can and preserve that knowledge is really important, especially in these beautiful places that are, in my opinion, very soon going to be hurt even more by us going out to claim these resources that have not yet been claimed, that the government is like, oh, now we can finally cash this in. So like,
Got to grow birch to cut birch.
Oh boy, lithium. There's lithium.
let's
Go
get
get
it. It's just waiting there.
So in your work as dispatching, that I imagine that's one of those jobs that tends to eat your event week, yeah?
It can. I was fortunate after a while. I kind of had the seniority to like spread things out. So I do a lot of pre-event, a lot of post-event, kind of do the minimal so I could focus on running my theme camp. But yeah, I always asked to work a burn weekend shift kind of thing, always do a graveyard shift. But I actually became really fond of working dispatch during the man burn itself. I kind of started doing that to get away from Barbie Death Village. They would do a thing right after the man falls, tips over. They have big fire poofers on their art cars, and they would get a grill basket on a stick, put a bunch of hot dogs in it, stick it up in their big fire, cook it, hand it out. As the fire started evolving so that it wasn't just gas propane coming out, it was a stream of liquid propane with gas around it. We had to get longer and longer sticks. Apparently, I was the only one. You don't want cold propane hot dogs.
No.
Some people eat them still. But apparently I was the only one that could figure out a mechanism to make longer sticks, which is just like conduit and hose clamps. And so they can collapse down or they can extend them. But this meant that I was the only one that could understand this. So I was the only one who would like cook it. And so I would start hanging out on the other side of the man circle and knowing where Barbie Death Village's vehicles were. It was like, I don't want to do it this year. Someone would come around and be like, they can't figure out how to use your hot dog sticks. You got to come and do it.
Motherfucker, someone has to.
Oh my gosh, it's just hose clamps. Like I would literally train people earlier the week, be like, I'm gone.
Did you forget your screwdriver?
Not even that. It's like I do the ones that have like the quarter size hole, so you can stick a quarter or a key in there and twist them. But then I started working man burn night, so that I'm like, there's no way Barbie Death can find me now. I'm going to be safe out here. It's going
And
to
they'd be like 911, 911. Our hot dogs are cold.
They taste like propane and they're frozen still.
It's so fucking disgusting.
But yeah, I really love doing that, and it's cool. I would do the swing shift, so I'd be off at like 11 and then still go out and party. Another shift that I really loved doing was a burn comm shift. And so for all the bigger burns, you have a medical person, you have a fire person, instant command. So I'm going to back up. Burning Man is run as basically a big natural disaster. This is one of my favorite geeky points, FEMA's incident command systems. And so you can do that for the whole event, but then as you have these little planned things, it like fractalizes into these little tiny things, and you can keep fractalizing or growing as you need. So it's really fun if you like looking at systems, at least. But one of the shifts was burn comm, so they would have a communications representative out there at the bigger burns just to be an interface between the people leading and back to the main dispatch in case resources were needed. And I would do that for the temple. I missed my first temple burn. I had like a weird anxiety attack and just stayed in my tent. But every year after that, I started working the burn comm shift. And that was really special to me because after they've closed it down, they have everything packed, they're ready. They would also give like 30 minutes to allow a lot of the emergency services, fire and medical folk who generally are working a lot more during the event because we need the people during that time. And so they don't have the time to go out to the temple. It'd be a dedicated moment for them. Like the temple's empty, it's quiet, we're going to burn it in less than an hour. You have this special moment alone to go through the temple before we burn it.
Oh, that's great.
And then we step back to the outer perimeter and, I'm just listening to people, making sure communication is flowing. And I got front row tickets to watch temple burn after temple burn after temple burn. And I love it. I also do sunrise after man burn. I get my friends out together at the temple and I wax poetic to them, make myself cry, make other people cry, feed people applesauce to make them cry more. And, just give out my appreciations of the event, why it's important to me, and why the people who are out there with me, mean so much to me and give me so much fulfillment in life through just one stupid party in the desert. So, yeah, I don't spend much time at the temple personally myself, but the operations around it I love because it's a lot of energy, a lot of feelings.
It's so much energy.
Yeah.
It's shocking how much grief it can evoke out of you just being in there, regardless of where you're at emotionally. I'm not in grief for anything in specific right now. I haven't had any major losses in my life in years.
Temple will get you.
Walk into the temple and I'm bereft.
Just get close to it.
It's palpable.
Yeah.
I can feel bad on my own, so I don't need to go to the temple to feel bad.
Just give me a mirror.
But I do love the architecture of it, and sometimes I'm in a place where I feel like I need to enter it and go through the process of seeing other people's grief. But most of the time, I don't need that savory note to cut the sweetness of the event itself.
I feel like all my favorite structural burns have been temple burns.
Besides the waffle. I mean, that temple that they ripped off the waffle, that was a beautiful burn, wasn't it?
The waffle was pretty
Was that
impressive.
a temple or a man base? In any case, we adopted that for a municipal burn once, and it was also a good burn.
I remember big burns, and I feel like they've started cutting back on the size, especially like the man base, because far too many fire tornadoes. But was it like 2013? I think it was another beehive, and it was like a big blue cylinder. And when it was just whipping up the wind inside, and they were just sending off fire tornado after fire tornado out. That was an amazing burn to watch.
I think they learned a hard lesson from that.
Yeah. And it was maybe a couple years later, the alien ship, the UFO, that was also massive, and that happened again.
Yeah. That one was a problem.
I will say cops, law enforcement have problems with them, but working with emergency services and oftentimes working closely, being in dispatch, working with BLM officers, I have to wear like a yellow polo when I go into work, like not too crazy anything. Of course, my first shift showing up ever, I wore like a mini skirt and half naked, but got that fixed pretty quick. It is really interesting and lovely at seeing how, in my opinion, how many of those BLM officers, once they've been out there a couple years, they actually do respect our community.
Yeah.
And they don't want to fuck with us. They don't want to get on our way. They want us to be able to have a good time, and they really just want to keep us safe.
That's why Zinke stopped having people who'd been there before come out again and was just rotating them in 1 year in, and then you don't get to come back for 5 years.
I think by and large,
familiarity breeds, holy shit, you can do this in society?
Yeah.
Like, even fucking pigs notice that.
I am stridently anti-cop, but realistically, I think most of the people who are trying to be BLM Rangers are more like outdoorsy conservationist focused types looking for a gig and less, Nazis.
Yes, there's some forest Nazis, but mostly they're just hikers with guns.
It is fun. Back when I was camped with Barbie Death Village, one of the games we like to play was called Fizzball. which you get your nice favorite cheap alcohol, shake it up, metal bat, a little bit of baseball in the middle of an intersection, throwing a can around. And the idea is if you crack it open, you have to pound whatever's left out of the broken shard can right up your face. Or playing it, I liked heckling and barking for it to get strangers to play. And there was a time where one of the side-by-sides came up with a couple of BLM Rangers in it. They were just watching us play. I'm curious, how dangerous is this? And I was so close to getting the younger of the two to do it. And he got up. He's like, I'm like, do you want to come and play the next pitch? And he starts to get up. And it was the younger guy and the older guy. The younger guy starts to get up out of the vehicle. And the older guy just puts his hand on his shoulders. And the older guy's like smiling. He's like, I want to do it too.
Yeah. But you don't understand the report we have to write if literally anything goes wrong.
Yeah. It's nice. Yeah, working with, the whole emergency services aspect and watching that grow from a very grassroots thing where we're keeping track of all of our medical fire things on paper to now we're GPS tracking radios, and we have a system that's used in many cities, and it's a lot more like a computer game where you're just using keyboard shortcuts and you have a foot switch to talk on your mic and you're just doing keyboard commands. It's referencing what it thinks is best, and you say yes, no, dispatch that, and then you're tracking it.
Interesting.
I would love to go see that.
It's a thing. I don't know if they're doing public tours, but
I'm not the public.
You're not you're right. You're staff. It's important, and just understanding from my experience, understanding how communities work at large. And I've been incarcerated. I've seen the problems with our system firsthand and things like that. But then also seeing how it can work in a community and society that really wants things for the best and saying we can set up these systems with Black Rock Rangers, our community counselors, and, the gun carrying law enforcement. They really don't want that extra paperwork. So they're, let's get them to take care of their community, and we'll be here for their backup.
If we could figure out a way to export the Black Rock Rangers to outside society, it would justify the entire event.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, and it's little things like that we get to learn by playing. And, I see it especially once we're all out there and money is no longer at the forefront of most people's minds and they're monetizing every moment, that's when we really get to be our true selves. And it's not that constant stress in the back of our mind. We're not constantly judging each other. And so I think because the community has a lot of that trust from it, we do accept these other forms of, I don't want to say enforcement, guidance. Thank you.
I mean, the thing is, if we could just get cops to stop responding to noise complaints and highway incidents, speeding and shit like that. If we could replace them with rangers, we would very quickly transform our society's concept of the necessity of policing touching so many different aspects of our culture. It's just fucking nuts that maybe my stereo's too loud or I'm using my drill at 8:30 at night and two people with fucking guns show up at my house to talk with me about it.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Or you have people with other, orders or, need medication for things and they're not on it. Now they're hallucinating and someone with a gun who has authority steps up and doesn't understand what's happening because they've never had to struggle with that in their life. They just assume it's someone acting hostile, not listening to them when there's a whole bucket of fish going on in their head that is not even letting them recognize you with a gun there.
I've worked in psych facilities. Someone who is in crisis, they don't give a shit about your authority and they don't care about your gun. So there's just a natural higher likelihood of someone with a gun shooting that person. But I've been attacked by hundreds of different people in psychological distress. And every single time, even without help, I was able to wrestle them to the ground and hold them there until help got there to keep them safe.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It's violent and it feels gross doing it and it feels terrible afterward. But we didn't kill any of them. We put our body weight on their shoulders and held them against the fucking ground and eventually talked to them about it and helped them reintegrate in their society. And we take the fucking easiest tactic of assholes with guns taking care of a situation in whatever way they feel like, because we've indemnified them against any real consequence. It's delightful.
It's real. How do you get people who haven't been to the event to see these things, to appreciate these things, though?
Baseball bat to their shins. You hold their fucking eyelids open, you give them the Ludovico treatment, but you also split their shins.
I think they'll remember your point.
Yeah, they might.
Yeah.
I know the answer, I guess, is to have lots more events.
More regionals. Yep, that's true. something else that I've seen, like learning things. I also work power for some large events.
Jesus Christ.
Lots of generators, lots of heavy cable, great workout.
Highly skilled generalist, then.
I like to know it all. But this last year, an event in Napa, they're starting to roll out these massive battery packs as well. Big lithium-ion trailers, way too heavy. So in the spring, I was working on an event. We were just trying them for the first time. Like, what do they work? Oh, they power food trucks. Great. Oh, don't put them on a stage because they can't handle the inrush from the subwoofers. So I got to play with that, have my own frustrations. And then this last year out of Burning Man in Gerlach, as everyone's setting up, they're starting to implement these batteries also, but pair them up with generators, pair them up with solar. And it's all brand new technology. So like they're, in the first couple weeks, like it's failing left and right. And they have the people out there, they're reprogramming and trying to figure it out. Staff is complaining because they're losing their air conditioning and things like this. And I'm like, you don't have any clue like what these folks are doing. Like this is the first time this is really being implemented, and especially in these climates. And so it's always amazing that in these little it's in the background, it's the scenes, but like we are doing things that are going to impact, other productions, other events around the world and how they're run. And so now we can implement more of the green technologies to at least help some things.
And fuck your air conditioner. Seriously.
Yeah, last year with some of the other gate logistics crew, they were, complaining, and sure, it's hot. They should be able to be cool. That's they're out here. I did go on a little tangent, lost it, and part of that was like, I'm out there for 2 months in a 12-foot long cargo trailer,
right?
And I don't have AC in it. And so, like, usually when I'm out camping, I can just drop the back, have the door open, breeze blows through, it's fine.
Sure.
I have been given one of, like, the standing R2 units that I can, like, jerry-rig in there. I just don't want to cut too many holes. I use it as an actual cargo trailer, too, so it's very versatile. But I go on this rant, and I'm like, well, maybe if you were really concerned about, like, cooling your environment, you would have a cooling system that was designed for this environment rather than one for back east. And, like, because swamp coolers are made for the desert. They work much more efficiently. Much less power draw.
They work really well, and they hydrate your skin and the inside of your body while you breathe.
Your lungs love it.
Yeah, it really does.
Instead, you're just dehydrating your environment more, just using a heat pump that's not effective in dry environments.
Right.
Causing more load on the system. And I'm like, you don't even know what you're doing. You're complaining about it. It's your fault. But then I stormed off.
They loved that.
I don't think it sunk into any of them. Maybe it did. They got to see me get mad, though, which...
And then the rains came, and all the air conditioners
all away,
just got turned on.
Yeah, boy. Nuttbutt's really on one today.
That was important because one of our crewmates flew in from Australia, and I don't know why it's important, but
because they're used to the heat and misery.
He bought a trailer when he got into the States for this year, told it was fine. Running his AC in Gerlach, he noticed condensation dripping down into the roof, and so he started tearing into it. And so in 2 days, he and I replaced over half of his roof of his trailer in Gerlach before we moved on to Playa. And that's why it was important, because then it rained. There you go. Not once, but twice.
Oh, it sure as shit did. Yeah, so you were in the rain last year.
I was.
How'd that work for you?
It was so good.
Yeah? Was it cool?
It was. I thought I'd seen everything. I've a lot of event production, theater, circus. Come on, I've seen it. I did not know that could happen like that at Burning Man. I mean, I knew it could, but actually experiencing it, and after bringing out weather gear for years and not bringing it this last year, that's why it happened. But also appreciating the level of weird that my friends and other volunteers and staff out there got to. It was new level of weird that was so good and so juicy.
It was pure.
Oh my gosh. Unadulterated, unabashed weird. It was...
we pretend that there's trauma bonding out there, but like last year there really was.
Yeah, it was nice also to have like kind of the forced break, a little bit down days. My team was really good where we were, so it
was chilly.
We didn't get behind. I got to wear my big heavy things again. They got nice and muddy.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a big proponent of pee jars out there, and so I have one in my trailer. It's easy. It's never that far to walk to a potty, but in the middle of the night, just go in the jar. And so I've always loved getting strangers to use my pee jar. If they come and visit my camp, they're like, I gotta go to the bathroom. It's like a couple 100 yards walk, not too bad. But I'm like, come back in my trailer. You want pee in my jar? And it's always exciting, especially like femme folk who haven't had that experience, don't believe they can enjoy that freedom of a pee jar, giving them that experience. So
Beth is a big proponent of the disgusting bucket.
I think I should probably buy her like a sun tea jar this year.
I have found that like the pub mix jars, plastic ones, those are the best. The lid doesn't pop off because I've had lids that pop off, and that's how I gave my sister golden
Maybe
shower.
if I can get one of those with a handle on it.
That's nice. That would be ideal. So this last year, it's rained. For those of us that might happen to pee on the ground a lot, now there's standing water, and it's like, this is all of our things together here.
We could introduce cholera to this situation in less than a week.
Yes. But I have a friend on one of the power crews, Happy, and his weird bit that warmed my heart to the best was getting other people to use his pee jar. And he's solar, so what he did, he had like the big pub mix or peanut butter pretzel things. And then he had those cheap Amazon solar stake RGB pin spotlights. And so he duct taped the light part of it to the bottom of the jar so it's illuminating the fluids inside. But that means it has like a sticky point down, so you can't just set this thing down.
Right.
It will fall over. And so then he has these handle straps, like just a mess of zip ties. And this is how it would go. And when we're using vehicles to drive around, we're not putting those in the car. So we'd like hang them on the side view mirrors. And we're going out at night to get people to pee in the jar.
You're like the Somali pirates of piss.
Exactly. Hey, don't pee on Playa. We don't want that. Hey, pee in my jar. But we'd end up right in front of a bank of porta potties with no line and getting people, instead of going to potties, to piss in our jars. And then, without asking them, they would take it and turn and find another stranger who has to awkwardly balance this jar on the ground that's lit up and now pee into it. And it was this fascinating thing that just happened. And like, some people got really upset about it. Some people got really excited about it.
Man, is one psychological experiment
Exactly.
after another.
And just some people got it instantly, and we're like, you're part of the P crew. You get it.
That's bad.
Come
might
tinkle
be
with
the
us.
funniest thing we've ever heard on this podcast, as far as I'm concerned. That's amazing.
It's out of all my years, it's probably my top
It
five
might
right now.
be like also some of the most helpful advice I've ever received. I'm getting myself one of those pub snack containers,
It's a good one.
bunch of paracord and like a gate handle on there.
Could wrap it.
Yep, you cover the paracord in epoxy. It'll never move again. I just need something stable that I can hold when one of my hands is numb from sleeping on it weird in the middle of the night. This is the year. 2024 is the year that I keep all of the pee in containers, not in my brand new tent.
It can't always happen.
It hasn't
Best laid
since
plans.
2022 in my experience.
I'll tell you the worst container I've had. It was similar to the peanut butter pretzels, but it was a bungee one, and it had cute little folding handles on the lid.
Oh,
But that screw lid, those threads were not worth it. Carrying that proudly to the pies, it just drops and just shower. So don't like those.
Yeah, I don't trust plastic seals out there. I want glass with a metal lid.
I would prefer that, but now there's glass issues.
Well, got to go Pyrex then.
I've broken Pyrex too, but I guess we don't have a lot of tile out there. On the ground, huh?
Yeah.
So I need like a 1.5 gallon, 2-gallon Gorilla Glass milk jug. I'll start looking for one of them.
Wait, we've had this conversation
hydro
before.
flask?
That's why we landed on jerry cans, because they're steel.
Yeah, they also have some of the 2.5 gallon jerry cans are plastic, but it's just like I'm not paying that much to piss in it.
When we had the art car, we did have a second bottle, which was if someone's found like 2-liter big hefty double insulated thing that was left on it. And so that became our first pee jar. And it was like probably $70-$80 water bottle.
Nice.
And we wrote, second bottle. You drink out of the first one. This is going in the second one. Skull and crossbones, do not drink. And we just leave it on our art car and be like, hope no one drinks that.
God, I was thinking that would be a great idea for just a complete art car. You make it look entirely like a bank of porta potties.
Oh, jeez.
But all the doors lead to a big open room, and like you're on a flatbed. There's a big tank in the middle.
Okay.
And some unisex urinals.
Done.
It's mobile.
Mobile. So I'm worried about like sloshing. We got to control there has to be like baffles and whatever.
You
fluid tanks.
just have to put some vertical plates in it to keep the waves from overspilling.
No pissing while it's moving.
Okay. Only pissing while we're parked.
It's just the fact that it's moving. If it's open in the top is the problem.
Gonna be a lot of
People
overspray.
pissing in it, like that's not good for them. But
Well, I know there are
the
people
flatbed
who get
itself.
excited about cleaning out the potties as their personal projects. So I'm sure if you did need help maintaining that vehicle, there's people out there.
Yeah, we could start making a lot of friends who have piss kinks.
You just drive slow through the red light district. We'll pick up a couple of followers.
Yeah.
Hop-ons.
Maybe not with a bullhorn. I think you need someone with a sandwich board. They wear it from back chest. And just like, we need someone to clean up our piss, please.
Yeah, piss freaks.
Piss freaks.
Piss freaks.
Hop on. Hop on. Let it out.
They're like vampires, but for pee.
What else was great about the rain? So being part of the gate logistics, that's like managing the road. So when people are trying to flee after we said, hey, don't do this.
Oh, my God.
It was our responsibility to go out there and repair it. And people we have people trying to like stop you from driving, and they would just like turn and bust right through the floppy flag barrier lines and just drive and get stuck. So going out there and trying to direct people in the right way. And then you have the cross playa highways, which became just rivers.
Right.
And then you have people with their 2-wheel drive vehicles towing a trailer. Somehow they've made it this far. I don't know. But now you got to forge this river or cock it and float across. I don't know. It's up to it's your Oregon Trail.
You're going to lose all of your shit.
It's the Applegate trails through there, though, I think. So that was wildly amazing, just watching people think they're doing the best thing for themselves. And amazingly, most of them made it out. But seeing the sheer chaos and like people like just panicking and trying to do things and not understanding the capabilities of their vehicle, I'm like, But what I also really appreciated that when we finally got around to Manbird Night, the population was like 33,000, which hasn't been that since like early 2000s. And
like 2007, maybe?
I didn't feel compelled to wear earplugs during that night burn. It was amazing.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah. And even though the conclaves weren't performing, they had like their own little pods set up. And so you just get, boom, I'm going to watch your show. I'm going to go over. I'm going to watch you guys spin. And it felt like all the chaos energy was gone. From the rest of the people who fled the event.
Yeah, it was little Burning Man again.
Yeah, it was just so tight and cozy.
But that was like a very special thing, too, because I was at a lot of those early, much smaller burns, and all that chaos energy was definitely still there.
Yeah.
There were just less people numerically manifesting.
Yeah.
And this one was like almost a temple burn.
Just like,
in how
we're
just like
burning it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We made it. We made it through the storm.
From here. I don't even have to get that close.
Such
I don't need to
palpable
find an
relief.
art car to climb on top of. Yeah. Yeah, it was truly magic.
I think I emailed my boss like Saturday morning that like, hey, I get that it's the weekend. I don't expect you to get this till Monday, but like, I'm not going to be back to work on Wednesday. I can't see how that happens. I don't know when I leave Playa, but like, it is not going to be on time, and maybe I'll be to work on Friday, but I wouldn't bet you're going to see me till Monday. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. I hear things are atrocious there. Stay safe. And I was like, no, things are fine. We just can't move. I don't know what you've heard, but like everything's cool.
Things are great,
Yeah,
actually.
we all came here
Better than expected.
with a week's worth of supplies. And like a week's worth of supplies is actually 2.5 weeks worth of supplies.
Yeah, when you take enough drugs to moderate your food rations.
I just can't take a reasonable amount of food, and I keep bringing less and less every year. And now, like, I'm running a kitchen for the camp, so I really don't need to bring food.
Still does.
A third of a milk crate's worth of snacks is still like way too much shit. Although some days, like, I will have 2 or 3 cans of soup because I'm about to go to commissar and I'm just like,
Too far.
fuck it. No,
Too far.
I'm sorry. It's not
Too many
far.
people?
It is across the street from where I camp. It is
That's
fucking
right.
disgusting. And like, I'm not in elementary school anymore. We used to get food out there. We used to get like real food out there for human adults. And the past couple years, I don't know what the fuck Spectrum is doing, but they're making more money than they're providing us with nutrition. As someone who knows what food is.
At that point, I'm just making sandwiches.
But sometimes you go there and there's nothing to make
That's
a sandwich.
true. That's true.
I can always make a sandwich there, but sometimes in there it's just like, but you're just giving me hot starches, and I can't put hot starches on bread. And I don't just want hot starches. And you go over to the salad bar and you're just like, there is nothing but pickled beets.
That's my favorite meal.
I should be so lucky if there's pickled beets.
I finally graduated to my point in my trailer where I have a 12-volt cooler freezer. And so at least this year I was able to have Lunchmeats cheese. I would grab a container of spinach and have a tortilla and like just make myself a wrap. I'm like, okay, that's that's my level of heaven now. That is,
Yep.
I can take care of myself. I have a wrap. Oh, I don't need anything else. It's amazing. And not deal with commissary when there's 3,000 volunteers trying to use it at the same time.
The day that I show up and they're giving us like spaghetti and meat sauce for lunch, there's no more commissary for the rest of the build week, as far as I'm concerned. Like you're obviously at your dregs. It is 12:30 in the afternoon, and you think that I want spaghetti.
We're doing the best we can with what we got. It's a lot. I'm not a large scale food person. That's not an area of events that I do, and I don't get it. So I can't offer any help. I'm amazed that you're doing what you're doing with what you can. I refuse.
I'm hoping that it's better this year since we're further away from the weird logistics shit from the pandemic, and then hopefully, knock wood, no hurricanes.
I think the
Just a
last
tornado.
good year of Spectrum was 2017, 2018. There was that one season we were going to boot them, and then they came back and they did like two and a half like really good years. And then the pandemic allowed them to reset to, oh, they'll eat this fucking slop.
I don't know. I do know that those Spectrum kids work long, hard shifts.
Yeah,
and
oh,
don't
absolutely.
get days off. God bless them. That is
No shade to the people working on
they're
the
just
ground.
they're
in
just
a
slinging the
kitchen.
food. They're not
Yep.
making the decisions about what is prepared,
Yeah.
what is eaten. So
And they're doing it at a much larger scale than I'm doing it, but there's still better ways to do it than by giving us salty potato starch smiley faces and pretending that that's a side.
they look so enticing, but they just ruin
They're
everything.
so fucking disgusting. They're so salty. The skin on them is weird. The consistency of the potato is wrong.
Even if they have the crunch, then you get to this inner mush of sadness. And you're like, you lied to me with your smiley face.
It's like they took potato buds and they made those into a shape, and that's wrong.
What you do, you have to put down like a layer of ketchup, and you have to drop it on it, so the ketchup just oozes up through the eyes in your mouth. You're like, that's your true form.
The only thing that I want to eat that is extruded in that way is like Cheetos or a Cheeto type of snack. But like I don't eat that as a side.
I mean, many Americans do.
I mostly eat those as a joke.
to yourself. Take these fake calories.
Look, I can eat this and pretend it's nice. Look, I can light it on fire.
But some people really like them. So I can't say that like they shouldn't serve them at all, but maybe not like primarily on the day they serve them.
Some people really like the faces,
And maybe like not with corn dogs.
the croquettes of false friendliness.
Oh, they do serve them with corn dogs. Has anyone made a smiley face corn dog person yet? Now, like when those are out, can I get some toothpicks?
Circumcised corn dogs. I'm going to write Spectrum. See if we can get those this year.
Circumcised corn.
Corn dogs with just the tops cut off.
No, I want a bit more
wiener
shape
like
on the front.
sticking out of the
Like an extra
the top of the
dip.
corn.
Yeah.
Oh, you want uncircumcised corn? You want extra corn?
They're already uncircumcised. You just
That's
gotta
right.
You gotta imagine where the pucker at the we don't have to talk about this. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon
Frenulum.
who heard that failure of a joke.
You got to try. It's about quantity, not
Swinging
quality.
for the fences every time.
Look, D-Day, everybody gets to fantasize about their perfect dick, and I'm just trying to like figure out what you're getting at. Tell us about this corn log.
Apparently, it's corn dog shaped.
Yeah, sure is.
Is it? You're going for the?
It doesn't have a
flavor?
flared base, so it can't just
Cool.
go anywhere.
Nope, you can't. That's danger zone.
Thank you for dropping.
But
the
if you
science.
turn it around, you can use it for sounding. That's my point.
That's. So, what is the worst food you found a camp giving out on Playa?
I mean, I think the worst food I've ever had on Playa, besides
Other than
commissary,
commissary.
is
Yes.
shitty moon cheese. But it's also like the best
Shitty
food I've
moon
ever
cheese
had on
is
Playa.
great.
It just doesn't taste good. You know about moon cheese?
No, I don't.
So moon cheese is a grilled cheese camp.
Okay.
Shitty moon cheese is a folding card table that shows up some places, sometimes next to moon cheese, with a sign that says shitty moon cheese. And they are toasting white bread with a Bernzomatic torch and then putting easy cheese on it, smashing it and giving it to you.
think I know these
and just
people.
going, here.
Enjoy it. That's rude.
Yeah. And, you know, it's gross as food,
It's
but
good,
as
good
performance,
art.
it is
Yes, good performance
perfect.
art. one of my other favorite things to do with the art car, late at night, you see the different deep playa parties, little clusters of glowing. Then you see little trails of people running between them, driving out in the middle of those trails of people and like setting up a barbecue and making quesadillas, grilled cheese, hot melty things, having water for people, and just these moon-eyed kids coming out of the dark, not understanding what they're seeing, first of all, then not comprehending what calories are and that they should probably have some.
That's amazing.
And then offering them some like dry, cheesy puffs afterwards.
I'm trying to remember if I've ever had bad food out there that I haven't talked about, because usually I just talk about the gut hut and eating uterus and shit.
Yep. It's mostly terrible drinks.
It's mostly terrible drinks. And
It's
I've had
mostly
so many terrible drinks.
Adults
Bad
thinking
time.
that other adults want like high C and vodka because you brought that out. They don't.
Throwing fruit in my cup when I don't want fucking fruit in my cup.
Here's some moot for you to deal with.
I don't want your sticky trash.
God, always. Or it's just sitting in the bottom of your cup, which like that morning had coffee in it. Then it had a margarita in it, and now you've given me some Sprite cocktail with a piece of orange.
And if I forget it, if it goes like a night and I've forgotten it, it could be days before I realize it's in there again.
Yep.
It's festering, it's collecting flavors. It doesn't do a good job. Like frozen grapes, they can hang out with wine all day long, in my opinion. And you just keep re-soaking them until they're the primo level of winey. Yeah, but when I use the same cup, coffee, booze, wine, it becomes a festival of flavors that I don't think there is a fruit out there that could, complement them. Maybe jicama, though. I think jicama has a blandness just to absorb everything and support it.
It's not a bad idea.
Frozen jicama sticks, swizzle sticks. That's a pretty good idea.
It's just what I want to put in people's cups now. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't leave anything behind because you can eat the whole thing at least. This isn't bad.
Yeah.
What about like some cold
leave some
horchata
skin on there.
Cucumber.
Might get too soft, but you got to eat it quick. Yeah, this is good.
You got to get the seedless ones.
Oh, okay.
The kind that are like almost too dry to eat on their own.
Ooh. And then
we
you introduce them to the wet.
We need to go in
And
the
then
other
they go.
direction and bring out like a crate of pomelos. Just give people an inch or two of rind to deal with. Pomelo greyhounds or something like that.
Oh, God.
My. I did have a drink I would serve in my camp called Sad Grandma Soup.
Ooh.
And it was equal parts chicken stock and gin. And that was it. And either you like it or you don't. And far too many people like it than should, in my opinion.
I don't know. Like, I'm writing that down.
You should.
I'm going to listen to this within the next month anyway, but I would like to have some gin and gravy before then.
It's good. If you got to find the right chicken stock and the right gin that work together well, you can do very bad pairings. And then if you want to take it to full Thanksgiving dinner, a little bit of cranberry juice on top.
It can be our second Thanksgiving shot as a chaser to the original Thanksgiving shot.
What's the original Thanksgiving shot?
So we learned about this from Bonkers Empire, the greatest bar to ever have been on Playa. It is a cap full of wild turkey.
Wild Turkey 101.
Well,
it's got to be
it's
that
the only
strong.
wild turkey there is. Wild Turkey 80 does not taste like liquor. Wild Turkey 80 is fucking disgusting. But yes, Wild Turkey 101 in a cap, and then a shot glass of gravy and a large spoonful of mashed potatoes. And
And you drop the wild turkey into the gravy, shoot it, and
Okay.
chase it with the taters.
That doesn't sound bad.
it's amazing.
fantastic.
That sounds pretty.
It's incredible.
I could do that.
Yeah.
All right.
In terms of like a multi-step complicated shot,
Yeah.
much better than a cement mixer.
Yeah, at no point does anything curdle.
Maybe we do need more savory shooters, I think. Agreed. Plenty of sweet stuff out there, more savory.
There used to be a fad for beef cocktails. Like a beef
Not since
fizz.
the 50s or 70s.
Yes, that was a
70s?
time when things used to be.
That was the 50s. Yeah. Aspic and like carbonated beef stock.
Carbonated.
Yeah.
I like my beef bubbly.
I think like it was the first time. No, because people had those sort of shits back in the fucking 20s. I don't know. America is just a fucking wasteland of cuisine.
Not all good. I've got some Jell-O cookbooks I never intend to use, but they're there because there's some weird shit in it from the 70s.
Well, at some point we might have a cooking show. We're going to need that cookbook.
that's fair. I'd be happy to lend it.
Do you have a favorite go-to Burning Man story to tell around the burn barrel?
Oof. No.
Great.
No. Yeah, there's a lot of them. They're just going to come up. Could tell you, had a buddy work gate, pick me up from my camp in a staff vehicle. We went cruising around Deep Playa. It was a dust storm, so we're driving around in a dust storm. The best time to do it,
as you are supposed to.
Yeah, and we come across this structure that rises out of the dust, and we're like, "What the fuck is this?" And so we get out, and it's a art car that is the biggest scissor lift platform I've ever seen. I want to say like the third of a size, at least, of a basketball court.
Jesus Christ.
On just these big, 4 wheels, but it's just one big dance floor that lifts up in the air. And it's stuck way deep out Playa, middle of a dust storm. We're like, well, can we fix it? And so we start poking around it, trying to get it. And this is when I learned that if you find booze bottles out there, you got to smell them first. Because it might be that second bottle. And you got to check it first. I didn't find out the hard way. But we couldn't get it fixed. But we also found was a nice briefcase left behind. And we're like, ooh, well, so we've only found a bunch of bottles of piss on this art car that's been abandoned. And here's this nice, like, attaché case. It's like, we don't want this running off into the wrong hands, do we? So we take it back to my camp and we break it open, naturally.
Of course.
And it ended up being like a handmade, like synthesizer, like hand fabricated. And so we did take it back to Playa Info to turn it in, because that's what you should do when you find people's things. Open it so you know how good it is, and then do everything you can to give it back. That's my PSA.
But don't bring drugs to Playa Info, because they don't need to be caught with the drugs that you found in that backpack. You find the drugs, those are your drugs now.
That's very true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Do not turn in drugs to an official department of
those have to follow like the wind they blow, but like deep personal items, those should get back to their people.
Yeah, like the wallet that all that cash was in, and that those IDs were in. That wallet might be important to them. They can get an ID from the government later.
Yeah, and any spending that you do on that credit card, they're not liable for.
Right. Just because you're at a place that they were at and they can't prove that they didn't spend $400 to get $30 from the ATM on Playa.
You know about that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I've been looking for it for a while, so.
They really did the smart thing by hiding it by the police station.
Very low foot traffic.
Yeah, you got to go down to the cop shop for it, because they don't understand that they can play poker without betting on their poker hands, so they need an ATM so they can keep upping their antes.
I will say some of the best food I've had on Playa, some of the best catfish I've had on Playa was catfish, fried catfish. This was actually working out at Dispatch, the cop shop, one of the years where we were a mile outside the fucking city. They would set up, when you have the cop shop, they have all their buildings, they have separate commissary out there for them, same people.
Just chock full of Choco Tacos.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, actually, yes. But they would outsource, I don't know if they still do it anymore, but they would outsource the BLM dispatchers to a company from the South, from Florida. So you have all these people coming out to this job, and we got to work with them when we were sharing a dispatch center with BLM for a while. They were making cute little yearbooks. It was great. But they would also cater their meals to like more of their Southern diet. So like catfish was one of the things I got to eat on shift out at the cop shop. And it was the best catfish I've had in my life. Yeah. Made by Spectrum kids out at the cop shop at Burning Man.
I mean, we've had catfish from Spectrum. It's not bad.
And it's made in smaller batches.
Doubt it.
No.
Yeah. But it's fried and then cued in some sort of heat cue.
I mean, I probably also haven't had that much catfish in my life. I've had a handful of times.
It's one of those things like fried chicken. Like if you're making professional fried catfish or fried chicken, you really kind of need to work to fuck it up. I mean, I'm pretty sure they used like one of the standard Cajun or Southern spice mixes and a bunch of cornmeal for it. It's passable.
I have heard that one of the cooks at Spectrum makes some of the best grits you'll ever have.
Their grits is good.
There are good grits.
Yeah, they're creamy grits.
Good grits.
We're making grits on Playa this year. I can't believe I haven't. Most of my ideas for the kitchen that I run, it's just like, I can't. We can't have like another breakfast. Everyone doesn't want to eat breakfast every day like I do.
Those people are fools.
But I fully have like 4 days worth of breakfast that I can serve folks. Maybe 5. But people want stuff other than that.
People want dinners. Because that's really what you want in your stomach before going out in the evening at Burning Man.
Yep.
It's a bunch of dinner.
You eat dinner, you go out,
Go out.
you come back, you dose, you go back out.
I wanted to run a theme camp and you'd serve food. More people have cups than plates out there. So you serve it in a cup, but I wanted it to be food that was really inconvenient to eat out of a cup. And I wanted to call it what in a cup.
Like peas.
See, that's easy. And the thing is, once I get going on it, like actually most things are pretty convenient in a cup. There's
Not like broccoli florets.
Yeah, okay, I guess so. And asparagus, those will come out. Okay, now I'm saying it's more just vegetables. Just straight up vegetables in a cup are not ideal.
Or if you make brisket and put it in a cup, but you make brisket really bad so it's super chewy, and you cut it into big strips, and then you just shove all those in the cup.
Smash them in there. One of my best ones was getting more like a flat New York style pizza and coiling it so it like gets in there really tight, and then you can't like get it out with like you were having to put your hand in there to get messy.
Yeah, it's like two pieces of pizza, one crust sideways, one crust near the lip of the
Shoved in the
cup.
cup.
Yeah, that's good. Pizza cup.
Pizza in a cup. He makes the worst pizza in a cup around.
2 cups, 1 pizza.
Made all the
Two
other guys
pizzas,
rich.
1 cup.
Spectacular. And we're back.
That one Nuttbutt.
So, one of the things we talked about, and I'm sorry to tell you, Beth, because you already know, is a little bit about commissary and a little bit more criticism about the commissary situation these past several years. It made me really kind of nervous and dismayed that I have almost 3 weeks of commissary to look forward to at the end of this summer.
You just got to manage your expectations, man. Bring your own snacks.
It's more than snacks that you need to survive out there.
Yeah. I think it's come full circle where I'm back around to I need to bring out like nutritious food. Otherwise, I won't get enough nutritious food. Like it used to be like, okay, I'll be eating commissary, so I will bring out snacks, easy calories, things that I know will work, as opposed to like anything with like meal shapes. And that's not great.
You got to bring the tuna snacks. Just a tiny can of tuna, a handful of crackers. You're good to go, baby.
I'm totally going to bring out more of those. Those were fine.
They've got little mysterious pieces of vegetable in them. They're good for you.
Yeah, but I think you need more vegetable than that.
Yeah,
and like it's
more
terrible when you
crackers.
go to commissary and like there's no vegetables left anymore. There's no fruit. There's just bologna in the sandwich tray and gluten-free bread. So that's what I'm dreading on Playa this year. You guys dreading anything?
I'm not dreading that because I'm going to take better care of myself this year and bring out more shit so that I don't die. Dreading this year, yes. I am in the midst of all of the planning stuff for my role at Burning Man, and I am absolutely dreading the rest of the email that I have to do between now and then. Like just dreading it. I get to sit down with someone I love and respect to work on a website. Absolutely dreading it. I'm dreading tomorrow's meetings already. I don't wanna.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I had to do so much work for it this morning. And you know what? Someone's going to tell me at the meeting that they just didn't read the stuff ahead of time.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, that part I'm all dreading. I'm not actually dreading much of the thing itself. I think it's going to be great. I'm fucking psyched for it. That it is the reason why I can get through all of these meetings and try not to resent my volunteer job because it's not what I want to be doing. I want it to be done. I just don't want to be doing it.
Rex, dreading anything?
Nah, I got nothing but exciting stuff this year.
Right on. I'm looking forward to Burning Man, but I have to like make an entire menu largely by myself.
Yeah.
It's fine. I just have to do it. But like instead, I made an art with a cow and a landmine today. And like that was fun as opposed to staring at like 5 different spreadsheets for at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of stitching in my future.
Yeah.
But I'm not dreading that.
Stitching can be really nice.
What else can be really nice to wrap up this episode is so Beth, you know that we went to a Playa Home Companion for our
Yes.
listener appreciation party.
do
2 years
know
ago.
that.
You know that.
Yeah.
Obviously, because you were there and you also just finished listening to the episode with all of our listeners. Uh-huh. So, a Playa Home Companion has a house cocktail that they call soup. Beth, what do you think is in soup?
In soup?
Yeah, a Playa cocktail called soup.
It's probably not actually just soup and a shot, although that could be quite nice.
Could be,
Tomato
but it's not.
soup.
That's a Bloody Mary, which you've just
Oh,
described
yeah.
as a Bloody
A Blandy Mary.
A hot Bloody Mary, not like hot spicy, like warm. Like I could get behind a warm, mild Bloody Mary.
Well, let's play Do You Like It or Do You Don't?
Okay.
Let's get a baseline. Beth, hot white creme de menthe, do you like it or do you don't?
I'm scared of it, but I like it.
All right. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. How about Thanksgiving shots?
Love Thanksgiving shots.
What do you think about chicken stock and gin?
I wouldn't turn it down.
With or without a cranberry juice float?
Oh, you got to try it both ways, I think.
Well, Nuttbutt, this year, if you don't mind, A, coming to our listener appreciation party, and B, bringing Beth the ingredients for a soup. That'd be pretty rad.
It's not far from a classic beef fizz.
We'll have gin, so if you bring the other stuff. That actually sounds kind of... I have been kind of blown away by the weird things and shots. And, I mean, white hot creme de menthe, it freaks me out that it is successful.
Thank you.
I feel like it's really opened my heart to, like, sure, you tell me these ingredients go together, I'll give it a shot.
I'm not going to say that it would win me Top Chef, but I am going to say that I would not be kicked out of that quick fire.
For hot white creme de menthe?
Yes. Accuracy Third is produced by Accuracy Third. The music in this episode is Lizard Boy Goes to the Sewers by Hand Stuff.
Nice.
Thank
Thank you, hand stuff.
If you make music and would like it to be featured in one of our episodes as Soundbed, you can get in touch with us on any of our social medias, not X, not Facebook, pretty much just Blue Sky and Discord.
Not Instagram.
Beth, I thought you update the Instagram.
I forgot our password and haven't been logged in years.
If you can hack into our Instagram, that would be rad. Then Beth can start posting again, I suppose. People are on Instagram. As far as I know, tens of people.
Oh, man.
Maybe hundreds.
We're going to get back into the account and there's going to be 100 messages from like weird thought bots.
You should come to our listener appreciation party on Playa. We know where it is now, and we're at the point where we're almost going to be on Playa. Rex, do you mind telling the listeners where that party is?
The listener appreciation party?
That's the one.
Wednesday at 2 o'clock. It's at 345 and A at Camp Got a Lot Going On, which is all one word if you're looking it up on the map. Find us with our flag, which we'll remember to fly maybe. The camp has a big cuddle puddle of giant teddy bears, which should help you orient.
Do you know what it just reminds me of?
What's that?
Want to talk about it?
Right?
Want to talk about it.com?
Want to talk about.com? Have you been sexually assaulted? Have you been molested? Want to talk about.com?
What?
Dude, it is on
Are you questioning your gender identity?
It is at the end of every one of those weird documentaries we watch that has anything to do with like sexual assault.
Oh.
Want to talk about.com?
Well, here's hoping the camp that who invited us? Is it a person we know?
Hopeful from the Discord.
Hopeful from the Discord. Is that a hopeful that we know?
From the Discord.
Okay.
No, Hopeful from the Discord. Maybe we've met Hopeful in real life. We meet a lot of people.
Hopeful, let me know if we met, because I think we met, but I might just be projecting another like name that sounds similar upon you.
To everyone that I've already met, I apologize. I'm like super duper name blind, but I remember your face, I assume, if I'm staring at you weird. I'm
better at tracking individual listeners if you're on the Discord. It just, you become like an entity as opposed to that person I met that one time when I was overwhelmed by a bunch of people.
The link is in the show notes.
Yeah.
And if you would like to help support this podcast, you can do so as a Patreon member. And if you're a Patreonzer, you can get access to a bunch of our unedited audio. And you can also have us provide you with a Playa name if you don't have a Playa name yet.
And if you would like to avail yourself of a delicious beef fizz, the recipe is 2 cans condensed beef broth, 1 cup chilled ginger ale, 2 tablespoons lemon juice. Mix and serve over ice.
What?
The 50s, man. They were serious.
Ew. Wait.
They had all of this canned food left over from World War II.
God damn. You know,
Someone should bring some condensed beef broth to our listener appreciation party.
And ginger ale, because we won't bring mixers. Unless we do.
Can it be Canada Dry? Of course. I like it spicy, but not too spicy.
Look, I'm not picky. It can be Shasta.
I like lots of kinds of mixers.
Like, I've never had a bad ginger ale. I've had, like, better ginger ales than, like, basic ginger ale, but I've never had a bad ginger ale.
I have had a bad ginger ale. I've had several bad ginger ales. I've had worse ginger beers than ginger ales.
The worst thing I've ever had in my life was a root beer.
Huh.
It was the worst thing.
Obviously, you've never had a Moxie, the worst parts of root beer and ginger ale.
Moxie.
Moxie.
The closest I've come to a bad ginger ale is a ginger ale that advertises itself as, like, hot, spicy ginger ale, and is just some basic bitch ginger ale. Mm-hmm. Like, come on.
Agreed.
Like, pucker my fucking gums. What the fuck?
But this is not a ginger ale review podcast.
The fuck it's not.
This is a podcast about BurnerNarc.com, where we sold 2 t-shirts yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Burner Narc t-shirt and a Dr. Worm Obey t-shirt. So get out there and get your swag before you go to Playa, before you come to our listener appreciation party, before we all have fun in the desert.
BurnerNarc.com. It's not just a joke.
And next week on Ribosome Renaissance, we're going to talk about young ginger. What is too young, and why does the government have to have a say in it?
Because of the Discord, we have profoundly so many questions to answer when we do our burn barrel before the event.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We've had people asking us questions for like a year and a half now.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Join the Discord, ask us questions, show Beth your butthole, not your cheeks, not the tops of your thighs or the bottom of your lower back. Beth is looking for 110% whole.
I mean, all of that is acceptable, but you got to keep it in the general channel. If you're going to venture into the depths of the buttholes for Beth channel, you got to be willing to come with starfish.
Yeah.
Or haikus.
I've
Or haikus. Haikus are acceptable.
I don't know how to correctly encourage you to engage in what is happening in Buttholes for Beth, but please come participate if you like buttholes.
If you would like a Hershey highway straight to Beth so that you can access Beth in the way you may need to, join the Discord. Link is in the show notes.
You're making
Show
it
Beth your asterisk.
so much more creepy than it needs to be.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Or a haiku.
BurnerNarc.com.
What's your Playa low point?
Playa low points.
Or what's the funniest injury you've dealt with as ESD? We'll accept that.
I was trying to avoid his HIPAA.
What's the most disgusting thing? HIPAA is fine if you don't say their fucking name.
I'll tell you, it happened a neighbor camp across the street. I was just working when this call came in. But I'll tell you the buildup of everything that happened, and not from me dealing with the call. Where it was 5-ton crane. They were the artists that did like Baba Yaga's house, things like that. They bring out a nice heckling stoop, and they're right across the street from us. We get along with them great, so we're heckling. And earlier in the week starts a little bike ramp dubbed the Ramp of Death. It wasn't given the right name to begin with, but as the week goes on, it starts growing. More things are added to it. It's just like a milk crate and a plank of wood to begin with, but soon there's a couple tires involved. There's more wood. It's longer. There's just other detritus that has been added to it. And
are they just like plopping this in the street?
It's right in front of it.
Heckling cyclists to
like,
take
get it.
I'm
Come on,
pretty
you
sure
can do this.
I've been invited into that.
Yeah, one of these situations. So as my friends tell it, it's towards the end of the week. It may be Saturday. I don't know. But now it gets set on fire. So now it's a flaming ramp of death. And what happens is, from my understanding, it was actually the camp mayor of their camp ends up doing it.
Jesus Christ.
But a milk crate is now right side up and hits the ramp, front wheel in the milk crate, face down, skid, helicopter comes.
I've used my face brake in a bike accident before. Oh, yeah. If I hadn't used my face brake, like, I could have done serious damage to more than just my teeth.
Oof. But, I mean, it's a good starting place. There's other important things. So if you don't go past the face...
I'm not one to find men handsome, but boy, did those handsome firefighters run right down the hill toward me to save me from my accident. It was delightful.
It was like heaven.
Heroes.
Yeah. So that was fun. Not so much, when you hear a call and they're like, that's right around my camp. Don't like that so much. Hope everyone's being okay. When I look at my low points, I'm just, I get horny for personal growth. And so like when I love being out there because everyone's
kind of their best selves out there, or their fucking worst, if that's all they have to offer. But most people are their best selves out there.
Yes. And I like it because, especially once people have been out there a long time, and like the workers who I'm out there with, like I feel know themselves better. And so being out there with the workers is amazing. Interacting with participants at the end of the week is my favorite because they're tired, they're drug out, they don't have the energy to keep their masks up, to keep their facades up. And so that's when I feel like I'm having real conversations with people. So that's my favorite point. I don't remember what we were talking about right before that, but
Burning Man?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, getting people raw in those moments. Usually I'm helping them with some existential crisis type of thing, and just seeing people raw and honest and not trying to put on a facade or airs and pretend to be someone they're not. That is one of the major reasons I go back every year.